Hey everyone, this is Mike from Edge Note 50 TV talking about boxing, and welcome to the final bell, where at the end of the week, each week, I'm going to talk about like the outstanding boxing news that's been happening, and plus anything extra that's happened that I've already spoke about during the week. So first up, I'm going to talk about Sergey Kovalev. He failed a drugs test. He was supposed to fight against this guy. Look, I can't pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to try and pretend. But he was expected to fight that guy, which on Dazn as part of his deal when he fought Canelo Alvarez. But now it looks like it's going to be cancelled. Yes, Sergey Kovalev is waiting for a B sample, but based on history, normally if you fail and you fail at A sample, clearly then the B sample is likely going to be the same. So it looks like this fight is expected to be cancelled. Where does Kovalev go from here? I don't even know. There may be a ban involved. And that could be a huge setback to his career. And plus, you know, he ain't getting any younger. And coming back from, from what he came from his defeat, and also his fight against Canelo Alvarez and his defeat against Yard, I don't know if he's going to be coming back after this. You know, I mean, look, it's going to be tough. And Kovalev wasn't already the same anyways in those prior fights. So I don't know if he's going to be the same guy or even worse after this fight. So Kovalev, I don't know about that. Look, should he retire? Look, I don't think there's nothing else for him to do. He's achieved all that he wanted to do, and I think he should just go down the Andre Ward route and retire. You know, he's had a good career. Would he be Hall of Famer? I have seen worse fighters in this Hall of Fame. So let's see how this one develops as it goes on. Next up, you've got Chris Eubank Jr. He's signed with the Solvlans, and he's been talking a lot of smack this week, saying he wants to fight Triple G, the Charlos, Andrade, pretty much anybody with a belt. And the Solvlans has said something which I think is very important. He's saying that he's got 2 years to make a name, 2 years to get the big fights, and there's lots of fights out there that he could face. But the question is, let's keep it real here. Chris Eubank is a wasted talent. When he's fought at the higher level, he's lost. He fought against Billy Joe Saunders, lost. He had his world championship fight against George Groves, and he lost. And that was against a finished George Groves. And he was so bad against a finished George Groves, he made George Groves look 10 years younger. That's how bad it was. And he beat James DeGale, a finished James DeGale. So how good is really Chris Eubank Jr.? Now, let's give him this. He fought a higher weight division when he fought those guys. He fought at 168. And people say his prime weight is 160. So people can use that as an excuse, and maybe at 160 he'll be more of a beast. But even taking that into consideration, he hasn't had a proper trainer. He's been training himself for all these years. He's just about got a new trainer now, which is Roy Jones. He hasn't fought for over a year. He's 31 years of age. I mean, what can Roy Jones teach him? He's not going to be the next Roy Jones by training with Roy Jones for a year. And looking at the champions right now, Jamar Charlo, Demetrius Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders, I just can't see him being any of those guys right now. The only fighter he could beat is Triple G, but that's only because Triple G is old, and I don't even know if he can beat an old Triple G. So, at the end of the day, Chris Eubank Jr., wasted talent. Would I still watch him? Yes, I'm a boxing fan, I'll still watch him. But at the end of the day, he's done for me. Chris Eubank Jr. is done. That's my opinion on the whole situation. But what do you guys think? Let's put it in the comments to see if you think that Chris Eubank Jr. is done, or you think he's still got a lot in the tank left. Let's hear what you guys have to say about it. Also as well, hit that subscribe, hit that like button if you're liking the content. I'm trying to be posting as much as possible. 2021 is going to be the year Edge Note 50 TV is going to start saying what he's got to say. So Canelo Alvarez, looks like Eddie Hearn has sealed the deal with Canelo Alvarez for 2 fights. First against Yordrum, and the other fight looks like it's going to be Billy Joe Saunders. It looks like Eddie Hearn and Billy Joe's got a little bit of back and forth going on. I think it's to do with the money, but I think eventually Eddie Hearn is going to get the deal done, and it's going to be Yildirim in Feb, and in May it's going to be Billy Joe Saunders. So I was always confident that deal was going to get done. He had the option of going with PBC, but at the end of the day, they've got a good relationship with Dazn. He's got a good relationship with Eddie Hearn. And even though he had a lawsuit last year against Dazn and Golden Boy, that was more to do with him leaving his contract with Golden Boy rather than having any major beef with Dazn. Because if he did have beef, he wouldn't immediately go and fight Callum Smith on Dazn straight after the lawsuit. So I'm not surprised that this happened. And it looks like, you know, this could be the start of a good, long, prosperous relationship between Canelo and Dazn. And me personally, I'm happy because I got Dazn. I paid $2.99. I want to see all the biggest fights on Dazn. And Canelo is one of the biggest fighters out there other than Anthony Joshua. So I'm pleased about that. Also, you got one final thing I want to talk about. Keith Thurman, he's been talking smack about Bob Arum, saying he's cheap. You know, why you're trying to underpay fighters to fight Terence Crawford, and saying all that stuff, all that smack. But look, at the end of the day, Keith Thurman, he has to know his place. Yes, he was a unified champion. Yes, he is one of the best fighters still at 147, but you ain't got no belt, you ain't got no leverage, and you are now at the back of the queue. So if you want to get the big fights, if you claim to be, you need to be a little bit more humble and don't bite the hand that feeds you. And let's keep it real. You can't get the fights with Bob Arum Top Rank, but you can't even get fights in your own PBC stable. You can't get the fights in your own PBC stable. Like, Sean Porter don't want to fight you. Does Danny Garcia want to fight you again? Errol Spence don't want to fight you. So you can't even get fights in your own stable. So, you know, you can't really go and talk about running your mouth with Bob Arum when you can't even, you ain't fought since July 2019. And this is not a problem with only of Keith Thurman. This is a problem with a lot of PBC fighters. Not like Jarrett Hurd. When's the last time people see Jarrett Hurd fight? You know, Adrian Broner's just about to get a fight right now. When did he fight? When did the last time did Adrian Broner fight? Do you know what I mean? These fighters in PBC stables need to fight more regular. Like, does anyone in PBC know why that's the case? Do you guys know? Leave in the comments below why these PBC fighters want to fight once every 2 years or something like that. Like Gary Russell. Like, when's the last time Gary Russell fought? Can anybody tell me? Like, he fights once every 4 years, this dude. Do you know what I mean? It's just like wasted talent, wasted talent. But anyways, what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys have to say. I want to know what you guys have to say. Remember, hit that subscribe, like, and hit that notification button so you know when I'm going to be posting videos on the regular. This is all for me, the final bell, just giving you some little bit of news tidbits of stuff throughout the week. If you like this, let me know. Anything else you want me to talk about, let me know, and I'm going to talk about it.